1.6.
Here we go.
Okay? So, all of you here that sit around and we talk politics and we talk about all these different things.
In a minute, they're going to be calling them Illuminati.
Right, here we go.
I don't understand how you can possibly deny that the importance of faith in this boy's life, who throws funny, who can't complete a pass, who's slow, all of these things, you cannot tell that faith in this man's life is not carrying him. He has favor.
And I do believe that it is favor on his life. And I know all these people want to talk about Jesus, and Jesus doesn't care about all this stuff. It's not what you think Jesus cares or doesn't care about. I believe that God, Jesus, is using Tim Tebow in the game of football, America's favorite sport, using him as a vessel to bring more people to the kingdom. It has nothing to do with wins or losses. That's what I'm talking about. Because people can continue to make a mockery of Jesus and how he does all this Tebow thing, but I bet you somebody who has never even thought about Jesus at least Googled him. At least. Yeah. That is what it's all about, bringing people to the kingdom. I love Jesus Christ, and I'm not saying that anybody is less because they don't believe in what I believe in, because I believe God is that complex and he would allow you to come to him in any kind of way. I just believe in Jesus Christ, and so does Tim Tebow, so I'm going to be an advocate for what he does. Is it trivial to some people? Yes, but you're talking about Jesus and you have never talked about it before.
Exactly. And the point is, right after they threw that 80-yard touchdown pass, right after they threw that 80-yard pass, the first thing he did was drop to his knees and started banging the ground. Now, that is not something that you fake. Like you said, the most important thing about that, there are casual fans that's watching that game because of Tim Tebow. Yes. There are people out there who are looking at it like, what's all this God business going on? There are people out there right now that went dropped to their own knees in their own life saying, God, please help me get through this bill. Please help me get this mortgage paid. Please help me get this interview out tomorrow. Let me do well on this interview. It's not saying God picks you to get that job. It's saying you're going in there with another person at your back, flying through those things, flying through those questions. And it's the higher power that we all have, and praying to that higher power, whether you call him Allah, whether you call him Jesus, whether you call him God. Tim Tebow saved lives last night.
Was winning and becoming the champion of the world. And that was because of Allah, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I said, whether you believe in whatever you believe in. Tim Tebow's faith is in Jesus.
Yeah, but Muhammad Ali never did no 316s and all that. He didn't do no Quranic.
Well, no, he said all praise due to
yeah, but he never do nothing where something locked in numerically.
No.
I'm saying, but he did wear his religion on his sleeve.
And a lot of people will tell you that back in 1970, Muhammad Ali was the most popular athlete in Kareem Abdul-Jabbar because of their Islamic beliefs, because the people around the world weren't necessarily Christian. So, I mean, but what I'm trying to say is, don't laugh at Tim Tebow.
I'm not laughing at him.
Not you. We're not talking to you right now. We're not a regular co-host.
I just believe.
I just
said the Falcons need to fire their offensive coordinator.
Take this part.
John Madden, you played Madden 2012 and simulate the game. The Falcons would have won. You just ran the plays.
If the Falcons had a born-again Christian on that team, they would have won.
They're not good enough.
Don't we have a homegirl from Real Housewives like her?
Corey, but I just want to say this. I want to say this, Tommy. And I know, we're going to bring you around. And Kanye said it best. I don't want to debate his speeches. But at the end, I'm making atheists into believers. You know what I mean? It's all about that. It's not about whether you believe in Jesus.
Tim Tebow said himself in a press conference. He said, "I am using the NFL to make the next generation better." It's not about X's and O's. And I know that he believes that. I know that he believes that.
It's not a marketing scheme for him.
No.
He's not getting the end zone pointed up to God because he's expected to.
Right. And this has not just happened when he became a professional football player. He's been like this his whole life.
Well, I agree totally. But my thing is this: with him is, and they brought it up. They had a very good. They had a good thing about with Cordell's story on First Take, and Cordell brought up the fact. Well, a lot of it is resentment against him, not because of his religion, because there are a lot of religious black folks playing in the NFL. and they just don't wear it on the sleeve. It was just the way that he was catapulted into that first string position that a lot of, and he has, let's be real, he has the same game that a lot of brothers have as far as quarterbacking. And those same brothers had that same game like Tim Tebow had. Yeah, Cordell, remember he had to play wide receiver, he slash.
Cordell is not Tim Tebow. Cordell Stewart. If I saw, hold on, I'm giving it to you. Yeah, you can.
Cordell won 95 games.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying physically, I'm not saying that. Physically, Cordell Stewart is nowhere near. He's not 6'4", he's not 250. If Cordell was
practicing, put him at a tight end.
No, I'm not arguing that. What I'm saying is,
it's favor. You cannot argue favor. And I'm tired of people trying to argue favor. You cannot argue favor.
Cordell needed
sports show, so I can tell these folks.
So if Cordell said, "I believe in Jesus,"
how did he say?
Hold on, let me tell you something. There's something different about favor.
You don't have to say it. If you living in the walk,
you know what?
Gotta say it.
It
can be seen on you.
I've seen this movie before, right? I've seen this movie before. We're talking about a guy who's 8-4 in the NFL, and it was called The Great White Hype. My thing is this: he is, let's be real, kind of Great White Hype.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No.
Yes,
Great White Hype didn't win the Heisman or didn't win a national championship.
Listen.
Gino Toretto won the Heisman.
We gotta go, but that is a valid point because every time people start talking about his skills,
I don't want to hear about
wait a minute. Every time they start talking about his skills, the first thing they say is, "Oh, he's this new quarterback."
No, he's not.
No, he's not. He's doing just what a lot of black quarterbacks have done.
Right.
But every black quarterback who has been successful, forget the black quarterback. Any quarterback who's been successful has developed a throwing game, and that's all it is to it. I'm an X's and O's guy.
Yes.
I really appreciate the narrative. I'm glad y'all are very part of it.
And you know what?
I win next week.
Can I say one thing before we go there?
I
know Wednesday on this very show on Wednesday, I said
you said
Denver was
we're going to go off there.
No, we're not. No, we're not. I'm gonna say this. This narrative and the story continues because, like you said, my sister, there's a bigger story here in Tim Tebow loving the Lord, and I'll say it here on film that Denver will beat New England in another sweep.
They will.
Yeah,
In another sweep.
They will.
Trust me on that. I've been watching football all my life. It's hard to beat it based on two things. One, the narrative, and two, it's hard to beat a team
But
twice in one season.
I want to end on this, on all the X's and O's of it. The reason that they won is because the Pittsburgh Steelers have the #1 passing offense. They were number 8 rushing defense. They really overplayed the run.
They sure did.
They overplayed the run. Where they overplayed the run was left up a lot of. They got beat on the long pass.
They got beat.
Wait a minute.
I was told they couldn't pass.
I understand. But my point is, all they did nothing different than what Princeton used to do to Georgetown. Back in the day when Georgetown was playing Princeton, and all they did was got beat by the back door. Very simple, of the most basic play, because they overplayed. They overplayed the defense.
So here's my thing. Listen to this. Let me say this. Here's the favor that this sister's talking about. You overplayed the. Wait a minute. I'll just let you talk. Let me talk. You just overplayed the run on a team where the quarterback is purportedly cannot throw. How stupid is that? Why is that God in evidence of a God? Hang up the phone. Sound what coaching?
We ain't talking about the Falcons.
Now you talking about
it's over.
Can we trade about
I just wanted to stay, make sure I got my.
And Sheriff Tebow said it best. He's Steve Barkowski Part 2.
I've been dreading.
You remember Steve Barkowski?
I've been dreading.
Next week.
I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that.